rising up through the clouds. No, never give up. Climb on, climb on. Hold on to hope, don't let go. Don't give up, there's rest for your weary soul. And time to heal, yet still you fight with what you're told. And hold on to your scars and wounds and paths of old. And I said, ooh, what would you do if you could lose all your burdens? Yeah. And I said, ooh, my words are few, but I love you. Those words, please hear them. Yeah. I can't begin to comprehend what you've been through. I wish it was all just pretend, just an awful dream. But please don't let your heart grow dead. For God restores and brings hope and grace and truth and life. And I said, ooh, what would you do if you could lose all your burdens? Yeah. And I said, ooh, my words are few, but I love you. Those words, please hear them. Yeah. Grace is the reason why we're both alive, so we'll pour out grace until we die. And I said, ooh, what would you do if you could lose all your burdens? Yeah, all your burdens, all your burdens.
Hello, 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 our Ultimate Breakthrough Challenge family. You guys, every single time I go live with you, I get to see your chat box, and it is just on fire, probably because you are 24 hours out from unleashing, from breaking through with the #1 success coach on the planet, a man that has been relentlessly dedicated to curating and creating the most magical 5-day experience for you. And that, my friends, is Mr. Tony Robbins. And Eva Gallardo right now just said, wow, it seems like there are people from every corner of the world. We've got Venezuela, Minnesota, Michigan, Australia, Canada, Nigeria, Massachusetts, Spain. We've got Singapore. I mean, represent where in the world, Portugal, Phoenix, Arizona. Let us know where in the world you are tuning in from. We have people from all walks of life, all different ages, all different backgrounds, industries, careers, desires. You could be here for a million different reasons. Maybe you're participating in this challenge because you want more love in your life, more zest, more spunk, more passion for your finances, for your relationships. You want that spark again if it's your career or whatever it is that brought you here. There is no one better to take you on this journey than Tony. And right now I want to welcome you to your final pre-training session before your ultimate breakthrough challenge begins with Mr. Tony Robbins. You guys, my name is Karissa. I will be your host throughout the next 5 days. In just 24 hours, this event begins. And I'm so deeply grateful to just be here to support you and having the most incredible event ever. I want to start off today by reminding you that this is not the challenge. The challenge begins tomorrow, January 25th through the 29th. And let me give you a pop quiz at what time. Well, we put it on the screen, so never mind. But 2 p.m. Eastern time every single day. So figure out for you if you're in Israel or Egypt or West Texas, what time zone that is, and make sure you are on time with us. Set your alarms, block off your calendars. This is really happening. This begins tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So I want to welcome you guys here today, session number 7. And before we dive in, I would like to do just a quick tribute to a man that joined us for these pre-trainings, Mr. Dean Graziosi, a very dear friend of Tony's. And Tony was like, hey, can you jump in this group? No one knows the dedication needed to transform like you, brother. Will you get in there and help these people warm up and get ready for 5 full days? Because for some of you, this might be your first time having a training like this. And Dean came in, he joined us not once, not twice, but 3 different times. Someone says Dean is a legend here. Can we give it up for Dean Graziosi for joining us on these pre-trainings? One of the busiest people that I know, giving us his most precious asset, which is his time, helping us with our energy, with our habits, helping us understand what to do to get the most out of this experience. So I want to say thank you so much to Dean for joining us. And I know he's watching right now. So get inside the chat box. Let's say thank you. And the best way to honor his support for us is to show up and play absolutely full out on these next 5 days with Tony. So with that, I want to welcome you today to your final pre-session training. This is training number 7. If you've missed the others and you just potentially joined this challenge today or yesterday, I got a message from somebody from where I am from, and they're like, I saw an advertisement and I'm joining this challenge, and you might have just gotten here. Welcome. You're not behind. You can go to the guides tab at the top of the Facebook group and you can watch all of the videos that we've saved down to help prepare you. But today is transition day is what we call it. And transition day is the day that we prepare you to transition from pre-training to real training. The day that we transition you from preparing to break through to actually what must you do to break through. And there's only one person we would trust with the information that you need to know how to break through. And that person is extremely tall. That person has 45 years of experience training human beings from every walk of life. He is somebody that is called upon by leaders, by giants, somebody that has trained people like Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey, Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, Leonardo DiCaprio, for God's sakes, people like Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa. Do you know potentially who I might be talking about? We asked Mr. Tony Robbins, what must this community know? You guys see it in the Facebook group. There's over 700,000 of you that are joining us. And what's absolutely insane is that you're all here for one reason. Different sources of the reason. You might want different things, but the ultimate core is transformation. And so the one and the only Mr. Tony Robbins said, sure, let me give you guys 5 things that I want this community to know before I meet with them tomorrow so they're really ready to play full out. You guys, Tony is a force of nature. If this is your first time training with Tony, please let me know. Put first time inside the chat box. If this is your first time training with Tony, I'm going to share with you the 5 things that he said. Our team was like recording it, taking notes. We're like, oh, we got to capture this because it's so good. Today, we're going to reveal, pull the curtain back, and give you the 5 things you must know. The 5 things you must know. I'm giggling at someone's comment. They said, are you talking about Jesus? I'm talking about Tony Robbins, okay? The 5 things you absolutely must know to thrive for the next 5 days. It's not like we're bringing you here and you're training with other people. You are literally training with Tony Robbins. There is a wait list of years to work with this man. People pay $1 million for like 8 hours of his time to go to one of his seminars. I went to my first one, in I think 2017 or 2018. I paid like $1,500 or $1,600 or something. You have 5 days for free. You got to pretend like you paid $5,000 for this, but you have 5 full days of training with him. So we are going to give you today for our final training day, transition day. If you missed every other pre-training and you were only here today, what are the 5 things you must do to thrive at the Ultimate Breakthrough Challenge of 2022? And by the way, this is the last time he's going to do one of these challenges. So if you've been with us at some of the others, you know how insane they are. This is probably going to be the last one that he does. So you've got to really play full out. And I'm just the messenger of this. So when I share with you these 5 things, it's not like, oh, Karissa said. I am sharing with you what he said. So I'm the mouthpiece of the five core tips to break through for Tony. If you're ready, if I didn't build it up high enough, okay? If you're ready to know what the 5 tips are, put all ready, okay? Put I'm ready, put all ready, put fully ready, put ready, whatever you got to do, but let me know in the chat box that you are ready and I'm going to share them. And at the end of the day, we're only going to go for about, 8 to 10 more minutes today. But at the end of today, I am going to share a surprise. 3 surprises actually that you're going to absolutely love and you're going to be excited about. And the surprise may actually affect one of you specifically, or maybe 3 of you specifically. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So stay here all the way till the end. Okay, let's get into the 5 tips. So Tony's top 5 tips to absolutely break through in this 5-day Ultimate Breakthrough Challenge. Number 1 is I'm gonna share a quote from Tony. And this is something that he shares often. So if you've been to one of his events, like the Unleash the Power Within event, if you've been to any of his events actually, or even one of the challenges, he frequently shares this quote. He says, and please type this up and put it in the chat box for me. And if you know someone, like your accountability buddy that isn't on the live right now, please tag them in the chat box and say, get in here and come watch this. Tag them here so they can see it. And if you haven't gotten an accountability buddy yet, you got to do that today so you can do this with somebody, okay? Tip number 1 is, it starts from a quote. He says, leaders anticipate, losers react. So leaders anticipate, losers react. Tip number 1 is anticipate the obstacles. Okay. Tip number 1 is anticipate the obstacles. The quote from Tony is leaders anticipate, losers react. What does that mean? It means that when you're a leader, and a leader isn't just, you might not identify as leader. You might be like, honestly, I'm a little bit more, of a follower. It doesn't matter in the sense of how you feel about you, but as a leader of your life, that's what we're talking about here. A leader of your life, somebody that's creating an extraordinary life on your terms, one that you're proud of. You look in the mirror at the end of the day, you put your hand on your heart and you say, gosh, I love what I've built. I love the life that I've built. I have a high level of fulfillment. If you want to be a leader of your life in that regard, you have to anticipate what could pop up that interrupts your ability to be that fulfilled. And so as you are 24 hours out from this experience of having 5 full days with Tony Robbins, I just want you to understand the juice and the gravity of that. This could be something that you say, dang, January 25th through the 29th at 2 p.m. Eastern time, that transformed me from in my nervous system. So you've got to anticipate right now what could pop up that interrupts your success. So tip number 1, between now and tomorrow, ask yourself what could pop up and share it in the chat box for you. Is it that you don't have accountability partner? Is it that you've got 7 kiddos home during quarantine or COVID, and you guys, are doing virtual soccer practice, and it's a little bit crazy and you're nervous that you can't stay focused because you've got all that happening around you? Is it that your boss is over your shoulder for a really hot deadline that you have, and you're worried if you can stay focused here and focused here? Someone says 7-month-old. Also, congratulations to our parents out there with our kiddos. Bring them with you to this, okay? What is something that could pop up that would interrupt your ability to be fully present right here? Someone said, how many hours a day? It's about 90 minutes, maybe a little more if we go on Tony time, okay? So now what do? Unexpected work meetings. Don't have an accountability partner yet, somebody says. What else? Haven't taken off from work yet. Challenges during work. I'm dealing with grief. So beautiful. Now, to fulfill chunk number 1. Oh, so Dr. Joseph says, honestly, laziness. I love that. Who's lazy from time to time? Okay. I didn't even get my hand all the way up in the air. So apparently I am too. Tip number 1 for tip number 1 is solve for those right now. So ask yourself, be the leader of your life, and say, what do I need to do to solve for this? So those of you saying that I don't have an accountability partner, potentially the solution for you would be to, I don't know, think of who in my life would I want to do this with, and then send them a text today. Actually, Team Tony, if you guys can whip up a text or something for them and throw it in the chat box here that they could just copy and paste and send, that would be great. Or come up with your own, and you can share breakthrough2022.com and get them to sign up. But that's one, solve for that. If you don't have an accountability buddy, think of someone in your life. If it's a colleague or a spouse or a friend or a brother or a sister or that random person that you're not super close with, that's just a stranger enough that you feel like you could be fully open with. So solve for that. If it's work is happening at the same time, maybe you have to have what we call a courageous conversation and say, hey, Janet, or Bob, whatever your boss is, here's what I'm committed to. By participating in this, it's going to allow me to be a bigger contributor to the team. I want you to know that this is what I want to do. I'd like your blessing to be focused on this and divert my attention away from work in this hour. If it's with the kiddos, maybe all you have to do is go get some noise canceling headphones. And then you can let them run around and scream, but you can stay focused. And you draw with chalk around you and you say, this is hot lava. No one's allowed to cross the circle while mom or dad is doing this for 90 minutes every day. Get creative, but don't allow life to interrupt your plans. Be the leader of your life. Tip number 2 from Tony, prep your training environment. Your mind responds really, really well to patterns, to consistency. So if you're kind of winging it, one day you're doing it in the car, the other day you're doing it in the kitchen, that's okay if that's the way that you need to get it done. But find a training zone for yourself, a place that your mind understands this is where I'm participating in my own breakthrough, my ultimate breakthrough of 2022. So whether for you that's the garage, whether for you that is your kitchen, whether for you that's your office, whether for you you're locking yourself in the bathroom on the bathroom floor and shoving a towel under the crack so none of the kids can hear you. I don't know where we've had people do this on a boat before. Wherever you're planning on participating in this training, really put some effort in to creating a space that you love. Maybe you set it up with pens and healthy snacks and waters and I don't know, a sign of your goals. Just pick a spot that is your training zone. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is prep your people. There are people in your life that need you. And oftentimes in the middle of 2022, you've been pretty needed a lot. And you're giving. And the only person left at the end of the day not being given to is yourself. Prep your people and let them know what you are participating in. Is that your partner? Is that your spouse? Is that your business partner? Are those your kids? Maybe you need to sit down and say, hey, this is what I'm doing for the next 5 days. I want to be straightforward with you in the beginning so energy is going. And then that way your people understand. And guess what? They can also support you. If you have a pattern of, like Dr. Joseph said, getting lazy, then say, hey, this is what I'm committed to. When you see me being lazy, call my ass out. Okay? Prep your people. Let them know this is important to you. Especially, I saw some of your comments feeling like potentially you don't have people in your life that support the level of growth that you desire. And if that's you, guess what? It's totally normal. That's okay. And then I would just breathe that out and let it go. But you can go to them and say, hey, I don't need anything from you. I don't need you to do this with me. I just want you to know what I'm committed to. And I'm asking for your love and your support as I go on this journey. Okay? So prep your people. Tip number 4 is take notes like crazy. You are about to have, if you're a VIP, you get to keep the trainings. So if you're not on live and you want to rewatch the trainings, you can do that. If you're someone that's like, holy moly, I didn't know that was a part of it and you want that, that's why we do VIP. So tonysvip.com, you can keep the trainings for life. That way, if you miss them, you've got them. But if you're not, you really need to take advantage of the moment while you have it and seize the moment. Now, I'm not saying write down everything that Tony says. But tomorrow, when you're with Tony, I can guarantee you, I've heard this man speak a lot, okay? Thousands of hours. Anytime he connects with an audience, he says, and quote, take notes like crazy. Those 4 words in that sequence. And what he's really saying is take notes as if you're going to teach it to somebody else. Because when you take notes as if you're going to teach it to somebody else, it seeps in to your nervous system and actually raises your retention level from about a 10% to a 90. If you're passively receiving information and just kind of chilling there listening, it's going to be like 7th grade algebra when information goes in one ear and out the what, people? Throw it in the chat box. Out the what? Out the other. You want to co-create your transformation. So take notes like crazy on the things that are actually distinctions for you. When he says something and he's like, dang, you're like, dang, that was good. I want to tattoo that on my foot. I want to shout that from the rooftop. Jot that down. Can I still get VIP? Yes. You guys can go to tonysvip.com and you can upgrade, no big deal. And also, if you aren't able to upgrade to VIP financially, this is a completely free event. Tony just wants to serve you and give back to you. That's okay. You're still in this. You're going to get all 5 days. You're going to have an incredible time. But if you want to up-level your experience, you can go to Tony's VIP and you can read all the awesome things that are included in that. One of which is you get to keep the full training afterward. We send you all the recordings and you can keep them for life. Okay. So take notes like crazy. You'll actually see during the program, during the 5 days, Tony keeps a journal and he's taking notes the whole time. So if there's ever, somebody that comes on the screen, he's just always jotting down notes. And I'm always just so blown away by that. At any event that he does, if he's being interviewed somewhere, if there's a moment where he's off screen, he is elbow deep inside of a journal capturing notes. So I want to make sure you guys do that as well so that you are fully able to pull the juice out of this experience. And then tip number 5. This is the tip that I'm most passionate about. And I want to make sure you guys are still with me. If you put in the chat tip number 5, so I can see that you're still with me. Tip number 5 is all about energy. And tip number 5 is rewrite your energy story. A lot of you, and I don't know you, so maybe not, but let me know if yes. A lot of people have practiced showing up in their life in a certain way that they just believe that that's who they are and that's how they have to show up. So maybe this is your first time ever doing something in, self-development and self-growth, and you typically show up in your life and you're, a little more reserved. That's beautiful. So am I, okay? Honestly, when I'm not on the screen, I'm a little bit more reserved. But if I were you, and again, this isn't my tip. Don't shoot the messenger here. This is from Tony. You've got to decide what's the standard that you're going to hold yourself to for the 5 days that has nothing to do with how you showed up in your life in the past. Because if you bring, let me ask you, from a 1 to a 10, 10 is off the charts dedication, participation, focus, relentless commitment, drive, passion, willingness to light your life on fire. If that's a 10 and a 1 is like, pretty dull, where have you been showing up in your life up until this point? If you were to put your whole life in a blender and blend it up, what's the average for you? What's the average of how you've shown up in your life in the past? What's the average? Is your average what? Okay, so I see a 3, a 2. If 10 is off the charts focus and 1 is like you're kind of just chilling, how do you typically show up in your life up until this point? A 2, a 5, a 4, a 3, I got a 10, I got an 8. Awesome. Energy, bring it. A 1, a 3. Someone said, this has got to change, a 3 for me, but I'm a 10 now because you just said so. I love it. A 6, a 7, a 6, a 7. Now, if you showed up for your life at a level 6, you're going to get level 6 results. So what Tony's saying is you have to rewrite your energy story, the standard for how you're going to show up at these 5 days, because your results depend on it. I mean, it's just your life. It's just your breakthrough. So don't get addicted to who you've been in the past. Show up fresh here. So I'm going to ask you a new question. What must be your standard so that you can get the most out of this experience? I love some of your honesty. You're like, honestly, I'm usually a 4, so I'm going to go with a 7. What must be your standard so you can get the most out of this? What's your personal standard for how you're going to participate over the next 5 days? How are you going to show up? What are you committed to? Are you going to bring the passion and the energy in the chat box? Are you going to play full out with the exercises? Are you going to get on your side of the screen and drink water and move your body and breathe? When Tony says, say yes, you're going to shout back answers. You've really got to be willing to release the idea that you've heard this or you know this, because at the end of the day, is there a difference between knowing something and doing something? I'm going to just say this one is from me. If you want to create radical transformation in your life, you have to be willing to show up radically powerful. Does that even make sense? You got radically powerful, okay? You got to embrace the potential that lives inside of you. What your creator, whatever put you on this earth, you've got some power in you. You've got to let it go. You got to let it rip. You've got to unleash it. And so you got to know what your standard is. So that's tip number 5, is show up with some energy. That looks like your body. Some of you, your facial muscles are always like this. Smile, for God's sakes. Breathe a little bit deeper. Throw your shoulders back. If you want to stand up, some of you say you're introverted, but look at you in the chat box. You're doing great. Just get out of your comfort zone and have a willingness to show up with more of you. That's all we're saying here. Okay. So those are the 5 tips. Let's run through them one more time. Throw them in the chat box here. Anticipate obstacles, prep your training environment, prep your people, take notes like crazy. And number 5 is rewrite your energy story. What's going to be your personal standard for your life? So in a second, I'm going to share with you guys the surprise from today. But before I do, there's 3 surprises. I'll just tell you, we're going to have, look at this beautiful person that typed up all their notes and shared them. That is what it means to be a giver to this group. You guys are so incredible. Wow, I want to honor you. It says Facebook user, so I can't say your name here. If someone would let me know who that was. Beautiful, you guys. Be givers to the community. How can you contribute to each other? Thank you for sharing your notes from today. That was great. So what I'm going to do now is give you some logistics for tomorrow. If you're like, how long is it and when does it start and is it in Zoom or where do I go? I'm going to share all of that with you so you'll feel certain about where to go. I'm going to share with you then 3 winners. Tony actually picked out a prize and wants to give it to 3 of you for playing full out throughout the 7 pre-training. So I'm going to share all of that right now. But first up, I want to share your homework. This is your final homework assignment, or what I like to call love work. This is your final homework assignment before the challenge begins. And this one is directly to Tony. So tonight, what's going to happen is Tony's preparing all day, but tonight what he likes to do is go inside the Facebook group and meet all of you. So he'll be scrolling through this Facebook community, watching your videos, getting associated to you, learning what's important for you in your life, why you're here, what your goals are. And so your homework is to go live inside the Facebook group. And if you're someone that hasn't done this yet, I'm going to give you a little nudge to get out of your comfort zone and let it rip, okay? Rewrite the story of how you show up in this environment. The hashtag for today's homework is going to be hashtag message to TR. Message to TR, okay? We'll put that in the chat box for you so you know what it is. You're going to go live and you're going to record a message for Tony, letting him know what you are most excited about for these 5 days and what your new personal standard is for how you're going to show up, okay? Send a message to Tony. What are you most excited about? We are so excited for you guys to do this, for Tony to read this, for him to see these, to meet you. And then I will be with you guys when we get together tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern just to prepare you for the day. And then I'll baton pass it right over to Tony. So you're going to go live, hashtag message to TR. And also, if English isn't your first language, do it in your language, okay? Whatever you got to do to connect with him, go ahead and do that. And then he's going to be watching all of those. So literally physical Tony Robbins, not his team, not other people. He will be in there watching those. This is probably his most exciting part about the whole pre-event challenge prep trainings. Okay. So hashtag message to TR, and we can't wait to watch those. Tomorrow, the challenge begins at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So January 25th, it goes through the 29th, 2 p.m. Eastern time. I would block off 90 minutes. And if you can, I would block off 120 minutes just so you have an extra buffer in case we go over. VIPs, you after the actual training, you're going to go into a private VIP Q&A with Tony afterward. We'll take a quick break and then you'll meet back in there within 5 or 10 minutes or so. So you have a little bit longer time that you need to allocate. If you want to upgrade to VIP, you absolutely can. Tony'sVIP.com. Team, if you would please throw that in the chat box, that'd be great. And that is the place that you can go to upgrade, which means you can keep all the recordings. You can be part of the VIP Q&As. You get access to Tony's brand new book, Life Force. So much good stuff. You can go check that out, Tony'sVIP.com, if you want to upgrade. 2 p.m. Eastern time every single day. Make sure you figure out what time that is for you in your life. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I cannot wait to see you there. Let's get into the challenge winners. So our team picked out 3 winners. We shared with Tony and we've been able to consolidate down to 3, which was extremely hard to do. But we wanted to give a gift to 3 people that really played full out inside of this challenge. And this was so hard because your guys' energy has been absolutely outstanding. But 3 of you are going to win an app of your choice inside of the Breakthrough app. So on your phone, Tony has an app. It's called Breakthrough. And if you pop it open, it looks like this. See, mine says, welcome, Karissa. And you can scroll and he has a ton of amazing programs on here. He's developed these over the last 45 years, from mastering your money to your relationships to really actually creating lasting change in your life, to your physical health, to sales. So much here. And 3 of you are going to win a program of your choice on that app, which is really juicy. They range from, $250 upwards to $495. So there's a lot of value packed into those, and you get to win a program of your choice. So winner number 1, it was one of the most engaged members of the group. In the last few weeks since joining, he's left over 821 comments, and he's on other people's posts, which is incredible. What a way to be a giver. And he's liked over 1,100 posts. So he's really been full throttle inside of the group, being a giver as much as possible. And this person is Danny Kolpelchik. So Danny Kolpelchik, if you guys would tag him so he can see that, please let him know that he won, so he can come in here and claim that prize. And I just want to honor you and celebrate you and ask you to keep that up, because that's going to be great energy going into this training. Winner number 2, this person has been so warm and welcoming to the group. This person has been a completely beautiful source of encouragement and positive engagement. She got completely vulnerable with her intro story when she introduced herself to us, which was courageous and beautiful. If you guys have a chance, you should go check it out. But this person also poured a lot of love into other people. Over 650 comments in other members' posts, liked over 1,100 posts as well, has been an energy giver, a giver in general, and that person is C-Sun. C-Sun, S-E-A-S-U-N, so please tag C-Sun, okay? Aaron says, I want to win something during this challenge. You guys show up and play full out. That's the secret here. Go full out, rewrite your energy story, and there's a chance that you will win. Some really, really good stuff. I mean, day 1, we had somebody at the challenge, we had somebody win an Unleash the Power Within ticket, which is absolutely insane. That is so much value. 52 hours of trading with Tony, okay? So 3rd winner, this person shared her story with us in her introduction post. We were deeply touched by her resiliency, her courageousness, but she also said something that really resonated with a lot of other members in this community, and we wanted to share it with you. She shared the story that she, in her life so far, has been more of a fighter for others, a fighter for her mother, for her sister, for her children, that she always found strength in being there for other people to step up and be what they need so they can succeed. And now what she's looking to do with these 5 days is to find the fighter in her to succeed for her. She says, it's my time now. I've been given to a lot of other people and I want to find the fighter in me for me, which I think a lot of people can relate to. In the comments of that post, it was off the charts. And you can share here if that's something that you relate to as well, finding the fighter in you. And this person that is going to be winning the third prize is Lisa DeBeer. So Lisa DeBeer, thank you. I want to say congratulations to all of our winners. We can tag them in here and congratulate them and give them some love so they can see this. And make sure you guys send a direct message to Team Tony Robbins, and we'll make sure you guys get your prizes. So before I sign off, remember, get ready for Tony tomorrow. Set your alarms, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Tony's going live tomorrow. I'll be there to help you guys and support you. But the Ultimate Breakthrough Challenge of 2022 begins tomorrow. To miss a minute is to miss way too much. If you have not yet created your accountability group, there is still time to do that. Breakthrough2022.com, very easy URL, breakthrough2022.com. Send that to the people in your life. If you lead a team or a company, take advantage of this, okay? This is the only time you can get Tony to train your whole company. Your family, bring your kiddos in with you. If you have neighbors, instead of getting a sitter, bring them over and have the kids play and you and the neighbors do this together. If it's a friend, find a group of people to do this with, because otherwise you have transformation and then you go back to your life with people that haven't transformed, the same mindset, the same limiting belief, the same old strategies. You can transform your circle by inviting them to do this with you. So create that accountability group and share this opportunity with people, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Remember, your homework for today is message to TR. Record him a video right when we get off, and that's it, okay? If you guys want to opt into text messages, you can by texting UBC registered 2022 to 68362, and we'll add you into the group. And other than that, there are 3 things that Tony Robbins says any single time he leaves a room, and he says, live strong, live with passion, and number 3, life will never be the same again. He is beyond thrilled to support you guys, and we're excited. We love you, okay? We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
on the verge of breakdown. Even though I try to replace you, but loneliness makes me break down. Every time I need a rescue,